Okay, let's start with first cancel something out. To remove the effect of one thing by doing another thing which has the opposite effect. For example, this month's paycheck will cancel out his debt, but it won't give him any extra money. Next, call off is an alternative to cancel when talking about events. For example, the game has been kept called off because of the weather. Next, contingent on / upon something, depending on something else in the future in order to happen. It's an informal phrase. For example, out-down arrangements are as ever contingent on the weather. Next, a correlation between A and B means a connection between two or more things, often one in which one of them causes or influences the other. For example, there is a high correlation between smoking and lung cancer. Next, pay off means to just pay off. For example, means to give back something that is owed to someone else, or for example, he managed to pay off his debts in 2 years. Next, run up debts means to accumulate large debts. For example, the firm ran up huge debts. Next, be in debt to somebody means own something to someone else. For example, they are in debt to the bank. Next, run / get into debt means borrow money. For example, he ran / got into debt after he lost his job. Next, be deep in debt means owns a lot of money. For example, the company is deep in debt. Next, defense against. It means a support or protection against. For example, the rebels' only form of defense against the soldiers' guns was sticks and stones. Next, come rush to one's defense means quickly support someone. For example, when Helen criticized me, Chris came / rushed to my defense. Next, a defense of something means something that supports something else. For example, the book is a closely argued defense of the economic theory of Keynes. Next, self-defense means to defend oneself. Next, in defense of. means an argument or explanation which somebody used to prove that he or she is not guilty of something. For example, all I can say in defense of my action is that I had little choice. Next, conduct one's own defense means the things said in court to prove that a person did not commit a crime. For example, she said that she didn't want a lawyer and was going to conduct her own defense. Next, play in or on, as in US defense, means in some sports, the part of a team which tries to be part of the team which tries to prevent the other team from scoring goals or points. Next, defense mechanism means an automatic way of behaving or thinking by which you protect yourself from something, especially from feeling unpleasant emotions. For example, arrogance is often a defense mechanism. Next, on the defensive means ready to protect yourself because you are expecting to be criticized or attacked. Next, be delinquent in doing something. It's an informal phrase used in the US, means late in paying money owed. For example, she has been delinquent in paying her taxes. Next, be in the public domain means be available to everyone. For example, these documents are in the public domain. Next, edit something out to remove something before it is broadcast or printed. For example, most of the violent things were edited out for television. Next, emotional blackmail is an uncountable noun. When someone tries to make you do something by making you feel guilty. Next, emotional intelligence, also an uncountable noun. The ability to understand the way people feel and react, and to use this skill to make good judgments and to avoid or solve problems. For example, individuals with even a small degree of emotional intelligence are a dream to work for. Next, a contributing factor in something means a contributing factor / major / crucial / decisive / key factor in something means a very important fact or situation which influence the result of something. For example, heavy snow was a contributing factor in the accident. Next, feel-good factor means its ability to make people feel happy. For example, the film's success is largely due to its feel-good factor. Next, by a factor of. The specialized phrase used if an amount becomes larger or smaller by a factor of a particular number. It becomes that number of times larger or smaller. For example, cases of leukemia in the area near the nuclear reactor have risen by a factor of 4. Next, factor in something. Also, factor something into something. To include something when you are doing a calculation or when you are trying to understand something. For example, people are earning more, but with inflation is factored in, they are no better off. Next, no better off means, well, not that good. Next, idiom proof means extremely easy to use. For example, the DVD player comes with idiom proof instructions. Next, jog someone's memory is an idiom, means to make someone remember something. For example, the police showed him a photo to try to jog his memory about what happened on the night of the robbery. Next, jog along is an informal phrase. If something such as your work jogs along, it moves on at a slow but regular speed. For example, how's your research going? Oh, it's jogging along. Next, keep somebody in suspense. Suspense means the feeling of excitement or nervous which you have when you are waiting for something to happen and are uncertain about what it is going to be. For example, she kept him in suspense for several days before she said that she would marry him. Next, have a thirst for something literally means a strong wish. For example, he has always had a thirst for adventure. Next, thirst after / for something is a literary expression to feel very strongly that you want and need a particular thing. For example, to be thrashed thrashing for justice, truth, or adventure. Next, Next, thirst quenching is an adjective phrase. Describes a drink that stops you feeling thirsty. For example, I'd like something thirst quenching, an orange juice, I think. Next, thirsty work is an uncountable noun. It's informal, means hard physical work that makes you thirsty. For example, sewing wood is thirsty work.